Almost 58 million Americans over 18 suffer from some form of mental illness, and some of these disorders are especially concerning because as a result,
100,000 people commit suicide in the U.S. each year.
And 90% of those people have a diagnosable mental disorder, which means they possibly could have been saved if treated in time.
Today, the Volunteer Spotlight focuses on the Contact Crisis Line, a free 24-hour hotline for people who need help.
And today our volunteer spotlight is on Benet Rogers and the Contact Crisis Line, who daily help others get through tough times by being a shoulder to lean on. So welcome, Benet.
Thank you for having me.
Boy, what a touching thing. The statistics are so huge now on suicide that I don't even know how you begin to address that. What are the signs we can look for?
Susie, that's a great question. The first signs we really need to look for in someone who might be contemplating suicide really is isolation. A lot of individuals who are considering suicides begin to separate themselves from family, separate themselves from friends, their favorite activities. People who start saying things like, I just can't take this anymore. This is getting too hard for me. I'm never going to survive this. We need to be concerned and start asking questions. Sleeping too much or not enough.
Who do we ask the questions to?
To them.
They're like, come on, tell me what's going on with you.
Exactly. Something's different.
How deep do you go down in your sorrow? Do you think that life is hopeless now?
Absolutely.
Do we need to be alarmed?
Absolutely.
What can we do?
And you ask those questions, and a lot of people are afraid to ask that question because they think, what if somebody tells me that they are? Well, that's great, because then you have the opportunity to walk with them through the process of seeking help for their situation. And, as we mentioned in the open, 90% of people who are considering and contemplate and complete a suicide have a medical diagnosis, which is of a mental health nature. And I think that's the biggest thing we need to change is the stigma. Having a mental health issue, being depressive, being schizophrenic, being bipolar, these are not something we should be afraid of. They are medical diagnoses, and we really need to look at them the same way we do cancer.
Okay, I have a big thing about depression. Mm-hmm. And when I went into therapy years ago, I was told something that forever changed my life.
Sure.
Depression is anger turned inward.
It can be, yes.
Who are you mad at?
Right.
What is going on? Who have you not forgiven?
Right.
Who have you not come to terms with?
Right.
And we're going to do a segment on this program about that phrase and take a look at it. But I know, for instance, we've got veterans coming back from the war, a 10-year war, 22 a day commit suicide.
Taking their life. By mid-year last year, we had at least one suicide a day. Now we're up to 22 a day. These are men and women, young men and women predominantly, taking their lives because they come back, they feel stigmatized, they can't find work, they are hopeless at their circumstance, they're not being effectively treated because they're not reaching out for help. They're afraid of what that might come back on to them in the military. So that's what's so great about Contact. We're free, we're confidential, we're not connected with the military, so they really can reach out to us and we can help direct them to the services that might be best for them, which sometimes really are going to be the VA. I think the military's doing a much better job now.
I don't know. I've talked to so many soldiers who are getting nothing from the VA.
You've really got to push hard and you've really got to fight. And that's where that support system comes in, Susie.
That
we
Contact
can't let them
can
do that
give
alone.
that?
Absolutely.
So what is, somebody comes to Contact, you talk on the phone.
We do phone,
and then
right.
Is there follow-up then?
There is follow-up. For those individuals that we consider are at risk for suicide, but they don't need to go to the hospital. And that's a really touchy area there. When do you know? We do assessments with them. We do follow up with them. We make sure they're connected. We make sure
Do you meet
they get to
face-to-face with them?
We don't. It's all through phone. And I'll tell you that there is a move towards telehealth because at the end of the day, it's quick, it's fast, and it's free. And that's what's really important for so many people still out of work, still suffering with economic issues. You've got to make it fast, you've got to make it free, you've got to make it accessible. That's what's great about our agency, and we can really connect them to the resources that they're looking for.
We know why the spotlight is on you.
Thank you so
if you
much.
are someone you know needs help, and look, don't be afraid to talk to them. Tell them what you think. Ask them what they need. Give the folks at the Contact Crisis Line a shout. They're at 972-233-2233 or at contactcrisisline.org. We'll be right back. Get some help if you're watching and you think you need it.
From the breaking point to the turning point, the Contact Crisis Line will help anybody, anytime, and every call is confidential.
You can get involved too by donating your money or your time.
It's all on their website, contactcrisisline.org. And if you need to talk to someone who cares, call any of the numbers on your screen. For the Volunteer Spotlight, I'm Sherry Green.
And I'm James Green. We'll see you here next week.